I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Okay, there we go. Hey, welcome. I thought I was going to have to talk to Kate there on the fly and have us do some crazy stuff, but I was able to get in under the wire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Sunday Fun Day Show, episode 382, the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Christopher H. Bilbrey. It is 9:07 p.m. Eastern, if you are keeping track of those things. If you're not, it doesn't matter. If you're here live, that's awesome. If you're not here live and you're here in the future, that's excellent too. It does not matter to us how you watch. It just matters that you watch. And if you're watching, all we ask is that you hit the like you're supposed to. It's YouTube. You understand how that shit works. Hit the bell, subscribe, do all of those things. Share the show with everyone you know and help spread the word. That's the only way that we are going to be able to fight back against these political figures and better things in our own little communities, in our neighborhoods, in our towns, and our townships, and our cities, and our counties, and our districts, and our states, in America and the world. And that is for us to get active, for us to get involved, for us to get educated on the things that we want to be active and involved with, and for us to start getting at it. So I'll tell you, it's amazing to me. It is absolutely amazing to me that the people can see what's happening in government and still be unwilling to actually act. People will get mad. They love to make Facebook posts and Twitter posts and go on several different pages posting all this vitriol, but they won't write an email. It floors me. Literally, when the thing that they're bitching about is the difference between them doing something that they love and not doing something that they love, or doing something they love the way that they've always done it, or having a major change. They still just don't do the things that need to be done. It floors me. The people who are mad about what's going on in Delaware County, and I'll be honest, there's so much happening. I honestly had forgotten about the Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow. So I am so thankful for Tim Nickum being on here and commenting what he just commented. Industrial solar back on the agenda tomorrow, the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. Stephen will propose extending the moratorium. Please attend in opposition if you can. And listen to me, folks. Apparently, if you plan to speak on the record, you have to be there before the meeting starts. Now, that's what Commissioner Shannon Henry told me 2 weeks ago. I had every intention of doing tonight's show from live in front of the county building, spending the night there. But I'll be honest, until I just saw Tim's message, Tim's comment, I'd spaced it. We have had so much going on. There is so much going on. And I'm telling you, people, that if you are interested, if you care, you have to do more than just saying words on social media. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about the federal government or you're talking about the state government or you're talking about your township trustee. Yeah, that's right, Tweety Bird. Supporters of solar were there last time, and they will be there tomorrow too. They will be there tomorrow. That is absolutely true. Oh yes, that is absolutely right there. Yes. The battle is raging again. That is right. I honestly thought we would have a little bit more time before it kicked off, but alas, here we are. So, hey, it's the first of the month, man. This is what happens. First of the month craziness. Tonight's episode, the fight continues. And the fight continues. Yes, it does. In the description, the agenda for tonight's episode, I told you all we would be talking about two things and then some housekeeping. Those two things I told you would be more information about Indiana House Bill 1186. We were also going to talk about the city of Muncie, Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow. There's a meeting tomorrow. We're going to go over the agenda and do all of that. I then said there would be a third little bit, which would be odds and ends. And I'm now going to kick those odds and ends out of tonight's episode. And we're going to talk about, obviously, the third part being the Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow, because I just completely spaced it. Now, I will be attending the Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow. We will be attending it. And I will be there, God willing, in enough time to sign up. And I will be at the Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow. And we will do a live show tomorrow. So for those of you that like to know kind of what's going on ahead of time with the programming here on the Political Spotlight, we will live stream the commissioners meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. We will live stream the Muncie City Council meeting at 7 p.m. And then we will have a live episode. You know how it goes on Muncie meeting nights. We will either be on at 9 o'clock or whatever half-hour window comes after the end of the meeting. So if the meeting is over and enough time to get home and do a show at 9, we'll be on at 9. But if we don't get out until 9:15, then we'll go live at 9:45, just the half hour, because it takes me about 15 minutes to get home and get settled. So we'll be on. So just watch for all of that. All right. So Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on, where we are since the last time we spoke about House Bill 1186. I'm also going to throw in another House bill that we're going to talk about, but I will do that when I'm talking about the Delaware. I'll do that when I'm talking about Delaware County, because I saw a post from a Delaware County elected official that talked about a specific House bill, and I want to reiterate some of my thoughts and his thoughts to you all about that. So we'll talk about that. But right now we're focusing on House Bill 1186. And it says here, do you ever rest, Chris? Yes, periodically. Yes. I do. I'm eventually going to get a haircut one of these days, I swear, and I will take a couple snoozes in the barber's chair. Hey, no, I got a lot of good rest yesterday. I was able to get some good rest, and now we're back at it. So Road Warrior says, I am hearing that there is going to be amendments done to House Bill 1186. I had someone tell me that there was some coming Tuesday or Wednesday. Listen, I've not heard anything about, I've not heard that. I haven't. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying I just have not heard that. I did reach out to speak to, let me pull this up over here and take a look at this. So I know what I'm talking about. To make it look like I know what I'm talking about, I guess we'll say. Looking at the Indiana General Assembly website, I've been trying to get in touch with one of these people that will be willing to come on the program and talk about this thing. I would have to believe. Yeah, it's possible, Road Warrior, that they could amend. I mean, they can amend this thing all the way up until. So that is very possible. But I would have to believe if you put forward a bill, meaning if your name is on the bill, either as the author or the co-author, that you should be willing to talk about it 24 hours a day. You should be willing to go on the biggest radio programs out there, Rush Limbaugh, Beyond the Grave, or you should be willing to go to the littlest, podunkest podcast out there in the world, like Boss Hogs of Liberty. I haven't taken a shot at them in a while. I'll tell you why I did that later. But these people aren't willing to do that. I would even go beyond that and say, if your name isn't on the bill, but you're voting for it, if you're voting in favor of this bill, if you're passing it in committee, if you're any of those 13, if you're any of those other 11 members of the committee that voted for this, and you passed it through, you believe in it enough to pass it, you should be willing to speak on it. But yet I'm not getting anybody that's willing to speak on it. Now, I want to let you guys hear something. For those of you that have not heard this, I don't know how many people, well, I was going to say I don't know how many people have actually heard this, but I don't believe it's many, because it was posted several hours ago. Let's see here. This was posted at 2:00. And as of right now, it has 6 comments, 5 shares. It looks like it's been viewed 26 times. So 26 times this has been viewed. Let's see how many, so I don't think the message is getting out very far. But I want to show you guys this and let you hear what we're hearing here. Stumblefoot says, Stumblefoot, don't you know? Why is it that our state legislators hide from all of our local political podcasters? Would it be a serious question that people have? Yeah, well, yeah, but it's not just them. It's also the local officials. And you know what? It's actually easier for me to get in contact with a national person and have, I could have any one of I could have anybody in federal government on. And if I pushed and pushed and pushed and tried hard enough, we could probably get a few minutes with Trump, honestly. Hey, speaking of that, I did put in our credentials and everything to get a seat in the White House. You heard them say that last week. At the press secretary announced that they would be taking applications from all news media, all journalists, all podcasters, commentators, and the like, and that all would be welcome. They would be going through that. And so we did get clearance to get press credentials to get close to Trump when he was president the first time, and nothing has changed since then. So I don't see us not being able to get this. So I will tell you, if we are cleared for it, I will take a trip to DC and we will do something from that. So we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. We will. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you 1000%, if we get cleared for it, my ass will be there. And what I've said is, because I don't know what the deal is. I don't know, like, if you just get a day or if you get like a period of time, but I was like, I'll go there and we'll make a thing of it. So that's that. But okay, I want to show you this. This is in connection with Indiana House Bill 1186. And this is a statement that was put out by Indiana District, 13th District, the 13th District of Indiana, State House Representative Matt Commons. And I want you guys to hear what Representative Commons has to say here. Okay. And this is only 6 minutes long, so we're just going to play the whole 6 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Matt Commons here. Just wanted to provide a quick update to session. This year's a long session, so we're working out the budget down in the General Assembly. Started on January 8th, so about 4 weeks.
Pause. And when he says this year's a long session, I want you guys to understand, first of all, their sessions generally only run from January until April. So, woo, that's long. Okay. They don't have an election this year, so they won't be ending early so they can get back to, suck money from everybody. So it will be a little bit longer. It'll be like the whole, couple of months, January, February, March, April. That being said, their working days were cut from 3 days a week to 2 days a week before the session started. So toss off with all of that long, hard work you're doing there. You're working literally 2 days a week on the people's business. I think that's part of the problem. So, okay, here we go.
Weeks into this. The committee assignments I got for this session and the next session were local government, public safety and veterans affairs, and natural resources. And we've had a good amount of bills starting to work through some of those committees. I've authored 6 different bills on this session, dealing from carbon sequestration, Two education bills actually moved out of the House this week. One would remove language that would bar public school corporations from partnering for specifically pre-K services, partnering with religious affiliated institutions, hoping to improve accessibility in that sector across the state. And several other bills I'm waiting on hearings on. Try to keep you guys updated as those move through the process.
Hey, Alicia.
I've co-authored several other bills. A lot of them are rule and safety focused. Really excited about the Braun administration, the new Office of School Safety, there's a bill that just worked through public safety this week. We had a hearing on it. We'll probably vote on it either this week or next week. But really merging the Indiana Department of Education resources in school safety, and then also the Department of Homeland Security, merging those.
I kind of want to ask this guy to blink twice if he's in danger. I kind of feel like this is like a hostage video that they're doing. Someone's holding him at pew point and making him do this video because he just doesn't feel comfortable. He keeps kind of side-eyeing, looking off screen. He's kind of nervous. Now, I know he's a redhead, so I understand that already cuts him down a few notches just on all levels, but I can say that I'm in trouble. My grandma's looking at me through the TV right now. So, okay, we'll continue on. Just kidding, Matt.
All under the Department of Homeland Security and trying to improve school safety across the state. There are over 1,200 bills between the House and the Senate. So just if you're reaching out on a bill, and please include, what the bill does and you're concerned with it. Don't expect me to know what the bill is. There's a lot out there, really focused on trying to get, hearings for mine and work those through the process. But, and then also the ones that come into my committee and the committees I'm on. Just as a general rule, if the bill's not going to get a hearing, it's going to die. I don't know if this is a great stat to use, but I've heard the number floated around. Of the 1,200 bills that are out there, roughly 20% are probably going to move it further into the process, and the majority of them are going to die.
So 1,200 bills. Alicia, just a quick summary. Basically, we've got state government doing bad governance. In this specific bill we're talking about, they're wanting to change up how law enforcement have had jurisdiction throughout the state, which is going to make the state extremely more dangerous. It's not going to be good for a lot of people. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow. So that's kind of where we are. Oh, look, Kate did the same thing. So, all right, 1,200 bills, he said. There's about 1,200 bills currently. And first of all, that's way too damn many. We don't need 1,200 bills currently, specifically since only 20% of the bills are going to be moving forward. I just don't understand why that would even be a thing. That does not make any sense whatsoever. Okay? That just does not make sense. So, it's, you've got what's 20% of 1,200? 200, 220, 240, somewhere around there. Okay. So we don't even need the other 80%. And it's like that every time. You're right, Kate. That's exactly right. I thought since this was a budget year, this is fewer bills. They did put forth fewer bills. Normally, they're allowed to put through 10 bills. This year, they only put forward 5 5 or 6. So ridiculous. So no, yeah. So right now, we talk about this all the time. In the state of Indiana, without this bill, get rid of this bill. In the state of Indiana, officers have basically, if their power derives from the ILEA, if they go to the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy and or they've taken a pre-basic, it doesn't matter if you're a state trooper or if you're a conservation officer or if you're a Muncie City police officer or if you're a Yorktown police officer or Zionsville, you have statewide jurisdiction, meaning you have police power statewide. Now, yeah, you're supposed to stay within your bailiwick. You're supposed to stay in your area, and, just because that's who's paying you and that's what your job is. But that's what the deal is. And you can pursue vehicles across county line and whatnot. You just have to do it safely. You're not supposed to be doing it recklessly, as we've learned. How many bills would be proper? I'm not going to put a number on it. What I would say is as few as possibly needed to do the government, to do, it's okay if 1 year we don't put any bills through and we work on shoring up the stuff that we've got. Nuts. I mean, they just do a bunch of busy work to tell people they're doing busy work so that next year they're able to cut even more time out of the already ridiculous amount of time that they work. You know what I mean? That's what goes on. All right, let's continue this guy. He's getting ready to talk about 1186, and this is what's important.
So don't have any increased anxiety over something if it's not getting a hearing. As soon as it hits a hearing list, you have probably some reason to be concerned if there's a bill on that. There's House agenda bills and Senate agenda bills, and they're both very similar in numbering. The House agenda bills are 1001.
Just admit if it goes to committee, it's just pretty much done.
Yeah, well, it goes both ways. He just admitted that if it doesn't go to committee, you can just assume it's going to be dead.
If it does go to committee, you can assume it's going to pass.
It's going to pass. Yeah. I
just wanted to be sure that that's what he had said. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad he at least admits it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's scary. It's definitely scary. We're fighting an uphill battle here.
1001's the budget. We have several healthcare bills. Really excited to see how those progress and, lowering healthcare costs for Hoosiers across the state, energy, housing.
Listen, I have this sped up. I have this sped up at 1.25. I'm going to take it back because this guy sounds scared. When you're listening to it in regular speed, listen.
Those are all big ticket items, and I'm happy to, be part of the process on those and make things more affordable for Hoosiers. Special announcement for Benton County specifically. I've had some people reach out about the J-turns. I think 1 to 3 is what I've heard across the county. I have reached out to DOT on that this week and have requested a community meeting. I've also talked to some of the commissioners on that.
Okay.
And that stuff. So hopefully we can get that community meeting. Questions from town marshals
here we go.
Matters bill. This worked through.
Here we go.
On one last thing, House Bill 1186, which is a law enforcement matters bill. This worked through public safety over the last few weeks. I've had a lot of questions from town marshals in my district and not in my district, in other parts of the state that were concerned about the jurisdiction piece of this. And it was a legitimate concern as far as let me backtrack a little bit. 1186, as far as the jurisdiction, it dealt with Tier 1 through Tier 3 trainings, and would have been, as written, would have been restrictive and required some MOUs to be signed to go do, basic duties from one small town to another small town, or, if the 911 gets dispatched to another town. There's a lot of questions on if a town marshal could have left their jurisdiction and gone to another town. That bill was amended. That jurisdiction piece was amended, and it is supported by all the major law enforcement associations in the state, including the Chief of Police Association.
All right. So number one, I want you to hear how this guy sounds like he's really just unsure of what he's talking about. It's been this way through the other 4 minutes and 54 seconds of this. He just seems he doesn't seem comfortable in front of the camera, and I'm sure that's it. But man, like, put the camera down, just speak or do whatever you got to do. But you need to speak to where it sounds like you've got confidence and know what you're talking about. This is your job, dude. This is your job. And it sounds like he's not really sure of himself. And the other thing I want you to notice is, again, here he is saying all of the big law enforcement agencies are supportive of this. The Association of the Chiefs of Police, the Sheriff's Association, the Indiana Troopers Association, everybody's big on top of this, except all the rank and file and all that. So now let's continue on.
So that concern has been alleviated. As far as what else is in that bill,
hey, the concerns are alleviated. Everything's okay. Now, he skips all of the bad shit of the bill. He skips all of the bad stuff and all of the worry and all of the concern. And then he jumps to the other 2 points here, which everybody's supportive of. The correction officers being, death benefits and all of that. Listen.
Because it covered 3 or 4 things. One thing it had in it was death benefits for correctional officers that are killed in the line of duty. So if you are a DOC staff, janitor, guard, whatever, and you are killed while working in that prison, your family would be guaranteed to receive state benefits. And that's awesome. And then another portion, which this bill is just recommitted to the courts committee after it passed out of our committee, deals with sentencing and felonies for specifically highway shootings. There's been an increase in highway shootings across the state. There's actually one on I-69 just last week. But last year in 2024, there were 7.
No. The thing last week wasn't a highway shooting, dude. The thing last week was the police shooting a guy that charged at them with a knife. Not the same thing, bro.
70 shootings on the interstate alone. So that bill is advancing forward. But the groups I was hearing from the most were the town marshals, and that was a legitimate concern. And that concern, as far as being able to operate as you've been doing for, forever, has been alleviated from that bill. So, that's just part of the process. Please reach out with any questions you have.
No. Listen, stop. No concerns have been alleviated. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, as Kate's saying here, looking at the latest version of the bill, I'm not seeing any changes that made limitations on police power. There's nothing that's happened here. So, number one, this is most concerning because along with Bartles, I've been asking Bartles and this gentleman to come on the program. Why have I been asking Bartles, who's the author, and this gentleman? Well, because this gentleman co-authored the bill. This man is a co-author on the bill, and he seems to be just talking like somebody's just given him the talking sheets and they're standing there holding up cue cards. That's who he's looking at off screen. He seems to know nothing about this. No, dude. No, Chris. And listen, he's a co-author on the bill, bro. He's a co-author on the bill. Representative Matthew Commons from District 13. Now, I asked him if he would be willing to sit down and talk with me. And his answer back to me was, I just put a video up on my channel. Okay, I know what you're saying. You voted on this to pass it twice, and your name is on it as a co-author. I know where you stand. I want you to hear what I have to say. Okay? That's the problem I think that we're not getting. I don't need to hear from you anymore. Okay? And I'm telling you, Chris, when you say that, when you say you can tell he does not understand this completely on what this would do all over the state, let me tell you this. I think a very small percentage of those people in that first committee, I believe a very small percentage of them knew what was going on. Most of them had no clue. Most of them had no clue. It's really scary. It's really scary. So this is Matthew Commons. Please find him on Facebook, send him a message. But more importantly than that, I want to show you something else here. And I'm trying to get people to understand how important this is. The importance of what I'm getting ready to show you. And listen, it's not just what I'm showing you. This is only halfway there. You have to take it the rest of the way. It's like, taking the horse to water. I can lead you there, but I can't make you drink it. So after we got done last week with the show on Thursday, talking about this, producer Kate and I worked diligently hard. And you got to understand, it's crazy because she right now is coming to us live from the one of the most, I was going to say the most liberal state, but that's California. One of the top 3 liberal states in America, coming to us live from the West Coast. And so we're passing shit back and forth. And we were able to come up with this. And I want to show you this. And I did this for you guys. I did this for everybody. I did this for the Hoosiers. We did this for the Hoosiers in Indiana. But this can be beneficial for the rest of forever. I want you to see this. Ladies and gentlemen, we put forward a list of all 150 state representatives and state senators. So the first list, this is District 1, District 2, District 3. So the number here is the district. The name is who it is. Then we have if they're a Democrat or a Republican. Then we have the city, their home base city where they're from. And then we have their email address. So District 1, Carolyn Jackson, her email address is h1@iga.in.gov. And we have these for all 100 state representatives. They're here. The first page is page District 1 through 31. The next page is District 32. There's J.D. Prescott, Sue Arrington, Elizabeth Roway, everybody around here locally, Kyle Pierce. Okay, everybody. Here's the speaker, Todd Houston.
Christopher, where can people find this list?
Okay, so the list is, I've done a couple of different things with this. So what I've done, and I'll get ready to tell you, and then the bottom list is the state senators. And people are like, well, but why the state senators? And I'll tell you that here in a second. So the list is here, okay? So what I've done for this current situation. Thursday or Friday, I don't remember when it was, I made a post on social media, and I've been trying to share this post everywhere that I could. I've been sharing it in all of the groups. I've shared it in just random cities, on police department pages, and I'm going to walk you through this post. If you want this list, I will send me a message in Messenger and tell me you want it, and I'll send you the link. Or I can email it to you in Messenger. Give me your email or whatever you want me to do, and we will get it to you. But it's also on Messenger, and it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook and on Twitter. So I want you to
link to Christopher's post with the list in the comments. Yeah. I also put the link for Mr. Common's video in the comments as well. So if you would like access to that video to comment and let him know that he's an idiot, or if you would like to get the full list and send it to all 150 of them and tell them they're all idiots and they need to vote this down, then by all means,
you can do that.
Have at it.
Yeah, this is very important. So Saturday, February 1st, I made a post that says, for all Hoosiers who are upset with Indiana House Bill 1186, bill to change police powers for reserves in Indiana. This is an important post for you to read. Then act on the information contained within. And then lastly, share with everyone else you know. Please do not only email your local representative or your local state senator or just the members of the Public Safety and Veterans Affairs Committee or the upcoming Courts and Criminal Codes Committee. First of all, the Public Safeties and Veterans Committee, they're done with it, so there's no reason even messing with them. As far as the upcoming courts and criminal codes, there are like 11 committee members in that committee. Do not just email those 11. You got to email everybody, and I'm going to walk you through it. I say we need to send out mass emails to all 100 state representatives and all 50 state senators, informing them that as citizens of the state of Indiana, we are telling them that House Bill 1186 must be defeated. Let them know that they are to vote against House Bill 1186. I then go on to say, below are photographs showing all 150 of the state representatives and state senators. That picture shows the following information. The pictures show the following: their district number, their name, the party, home city, and email addresses. I will share the email addresses only at the bottom of this post in the comments, making it easier for you to copy and paste and send your own emails. Here is a sample email for citizens and law enforcement officers alike. Please feel free to use it. You can send your own email, but if you don't, if you can't, if you'd rather not, if it's just too hard, if you just want to do it quickly and get it done, listen, sending your own passionate email would be great, but not everybody is designed for that way. Just copy and paste this, put in your pertinent information, and send it out. Okay? And I'll even make it a step easier for you. I'll even make it one step easier for you. If you want to send an email, I've already sent an email to all 100 state representatives and all 50 senators. If you want me to forward you that group list so that all you got to do is hit forward, you can do it, but you got to put your own stuff in it. So I'll make this as simple for you as possible. However you got to do it. Type out what you're going to say there, Catherine, and we'll see what's going on. So you said subject. So the subject, it says subject. And this is important. You have to put urgent concern, please vote no on House Bill 1186. And I put that, number one, because when they open it up, they have to know what it's about. They have to know it's about 1186. Even if they know nothing else, even if they don't read it, they'll see that subject, and that subject will say, vote no on 1186. If you do nothing else, at least put it in the subject, because some of these people aren't going to read these emails. A lot of them might not. But as long as we put it in the subject, they will see it in that subject. It will be there. Urgent concern, please vote no on House Bill HB 1186. Then it opens up. And you can mess with writing, dear representative, or you don't have to. You can even just get straight into it. Indiana House Bill 1186 is currently making its way through the committee process. It was recently considered by the Veterans Affairs and Public Safety Committee and passed 10-0 with 3 members absent. The outcome of this bill has dire implications for many Hoosiers, and the vote on the bill in the committee happened quickly and without real opportunity for comment from Hoosiers, both those in law enforcement and those who are not. Thankfully, House Bill 1186 was sent to the Courts and Criminal Codes Committee, and I'm hopeful there will be further chances to offer comments to that committee before they vote. Although I'm hearing they might not, so we'll have to see. I am writing to express my strong opposition to House Bill 1186. If you are on the Courts and Criminal Code Committee, I ask that you hear my concerns and those of my fellow Hoosiers and vote no on House Bill 1186. If you are not on that committee, I respectfully request that you reach out to anyone on the committee you may know and express my concerns to them. Lastly, I am asking, if the worst case scenario happens and House Bill 1186 passes through the Courts and Criminal Codes Committee, I am asking that you vote no on the bill when it comes before the full House. Because let me explain, folks. It's going to this committee. We can kill it in the committee and it can be done, or it can pass the committee and move on. If we kill it, good. No harm, no foul. If we don't kill it, then it has to go before the full House for a vote. And that's why you want to send this to everyone. Okay? So, I'm asking that you vote no on the bill when it comes before the full House. While I understand the intent to address the concerns with specific reserve programs, House Bill 1186 fails to fix the real issues. Instead, it creates unnecessary liability for well-trained reserves and the agencies that rely on them. Key concerns with House Bill 1186. It does not stop badge factory departments. Agencies abusing the system will simply start paying reserves a token salary, send them to Tier 2 certification, and continue operating as they do today. This bill does not eliminate the problem. It just creates a loophole for them to work around this restriction. It will force our dedicated trained reserves, and increased liability and restrictions will mean that those of us who serve for the right reasons will have no choice but to resign, not because of a lack of qualifications, but because the law will make it impossible to serve effectively. Rural law enforcement will suffer. Many sheriff's departments rely on properly trained reserves to supplement staffing and cover calls, especially in under-resourced areas. This bill will make it harder for small departments to retain reserve officers, reducing the response times in public safety in rural communities. It does not address the real issue, training and accountability. Instead of restricting reserves' ability to serve, a better approach would be mandatory structured Tier 2 certification pathways, ensuring accountability for all departments, not just select agencies. House Bill 1186 is not the right solution. It will decimate rural reserve programs while leaving loopholes open for the very agency it claims to regulate. I strongly urge you to vote no on this bill and consider an approach to the strength that strengthens training and accountability rather than punishing those who serve for the right reasons. I appreciate your time and consideration and welcome the opportunity to discuss this further. Sincerely, your name, and then if you're on a department, your rank and department, if a Leo, and your contact information. I then also included a sample email for state senators, and people might be like, well, why? They're not even getting it yet. Because if we are not able to kill it in committee and we're not able to kill it at the floor, then we need to send to the senators, because they will then get this and they will send it to committee and vote and then back to the floor. So we might as well get them underway. Plus, they mingle with the state house members now, and they talk and they do this. So you might as well get them involved. And I changed the email a little bit, and it says, it's again, urgent concern, House Bill 1186 in the State House. Dear Senator, or you don't even need to mess with it. Your colleagues in the State House are currently considering Indiana House Bill 1186. If passed, this bill would have dire implications for many Hoosiers, both those in law enforcement and those who are not. This bill has passed one committee and will soon be discussed in a second committee. I hope that HB 1186 will be voted down in the committee or on the floor. However, this is serious enough for me to contact you. If House Bill 1186 makes its way to your side, I am sure you will hear from me and others like me again. That said, I am hoping the bill is voted down, but I wanted to put it on your radar and let you know that there are a lot of strong objections to this bill. Please allow me to explain my issues with House Bill 1186. It creates unnecessary liability for well-trained police officer reserves and the agencies that rely on them. While I understand the intent to address concerns with specific reserve programs, HB 1186 fails to fix the real issues. And then from there, the basic body of the email is the same. It then ends with, again, I hope HB 1186 won't make it out of the State House, but if it does, I strongly urge you, either in committee or with the full Senate, to vote no on this bill. Then hopefully all the various stakeholders can come together and consider a better approach that strengthens training and accountability rather than punishing those who serve for the right reasons. And so I put all that again. There is no reason not to send those emails to all 150 state senators and state representatives. There are 50 senators, 100 representatives. It took me exactly 4 minutes to send the email to everybody once I had the emails compiled. It took no time at all. I then put this here. Here are the email addresses for all 100 state representatives. If you drag your mouse over this, you can copy all 100. I'm going to show you this. You hit all 100 just like this, and you copy and you paste it, and then you can go to your mail and you can hit paste, and it will put all 100 in there right there, and you can send your letter to the state representatives. Then you come down here and you hit copy and paste on all 50 senators, copy, paste it, and send it to all 50 senators. Boom, bang, pow, it's done. Right there. Right there. It's very easy. There's no reason not to do it. Please do not delay. Do not delay this. I started talking to some people yesterday evening and in today in law enforcement that still have not done this. They still have not done this, and it's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So that's just crazy. Okay, let me see. Go back up here really quickly. Okay. So just briefly, I want to say this before we move on from here. The IGA. When we last talked last Thursday about this bill had been sent to the courts and criminal codes, and it had not been given a date. We now have a date. This will go before the Committee on House Courts and Criminal Code Committee. It will go before them this coming Wednesday. Today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, the next day's Tuesday, and then Wednesday, February 5th. And they will talk about this at about, the meeting starts at 10:30, and I would say that we'll hear about this by about 11:15, 11:30ish. House Bill 1186 will show up at, just close to 10:30 on Wednesday. For anybody, what we need to do is we need to try and decide how many people we can get down there. We need to plan this out. And it sucks. Even if they don't let you speak, we need to let them see faces, because they are under the misguided thoughts that everybody's okay with this. We're not getting any emails because all the emails are going to the legislative assistants. Well, if you email this list, this is their email. This is the email that goes to them. So you'll be bypassing what they do on this website. Okay? Because everybody understands, right? If you see right here, here's Representative Chris Jeter. Okay? You look Chris Jeter, you want to message Chris Jeter, right? So you come over here and you look at this. I want to contact Jeter. Contact my office. So you click on the contact my office thing. Okay? And it shoots you over to another page. Okay? Shoots you over to this page right here. Here we are. Here's Chris Jeter. Okay, well, let's send Chris Jeter an email. Well, just like everybody else in the last 2 years, they scrubbed his email off here. So his email's not here any longer. Okay? They give you a phone number, and then give you two phone numbers, an 800 number and a 317 number. And they both go to a voicemail or to an assistant. He doesn't ever pick up the phone number on any of those. All right? And if you want to, quote unquote, email him, which a lot of people have been doing, they go down here, share your feedback here. If you want to share your thoughts, send it right here. And everybody has been going through the trouble of filling this out and then sending their messages right here. And this does not go to him. It goes to the legislative assistant, and then he never sees it. So don't mess with this way. You have to do it off the list. I mean, you can do it this way, but you're wasting your time. Don't do this. Do it the other way. Okay, we will also be live streaming that meeting on Wednesday, so you'll be able to watch it here. But I would like to talk to some people ahead of that are going to be going. I'd like to talk to some law enforcement. I would like to do that roundtable thing. I think no later than I think we need to do it Tuesday, That will let us plan for it tomorrow. And I've got a lot of other stuff going on tomorrow, like meetings and such. So then Tuesday night on this show at 9 o'clock, I'd like to have some law enforcement officers on here. So I know I've had some people say, I'll do it. If you are a law enforcement officer, reserve, full-time, I would like to have active duty if possible, but if you're retired, I'll take that. And here's what I would like for you to do. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger or in email and give me your name. Tell me you would like to be on and tell me your department. And tell me if it's you need to find out from your people if it's permissible for you to be on, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. If you want to be on and your face, we can show your face or whatever, I would love to do it. But if you would like to be on and not show your face, we can do that. You know, I'm willing to talk to you under the cover of darkness as long as you are truthful, you know, as long as you can prove that you're a law enforcement officer, I would be willing to talk to you. And so I would like to do that. So I would like to get a good handful of you, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, and then we can do the police against 1186 dance. So we'll try to put that together for Tuesday. If you're interested, hit me up in the DMs. So text the studio line. Yeah, listen, screw it. Text me. If you want to be on, text me, and then we can talk. That's the best way to do it. You don't even have to mess with Facebook or emailing. Text me at 765-546-9796. Yeah, that's right. And then we can go from there. And I'll keep you guys posted. Whatever else I hear about this, anyone else I talk to tomorrow, whatever goes on, I'll keep it posted. Tuesday, I'll like to do the round table. Wednesday, we'll live stream the meeting at 10:30, and we'll go from there. Okay, so before Catherine, we move on, we've got some kind of nonsense from Catherine. What's this?
Yeah, we just got this little tidbit, so she's just letting everybody know.
I like it.
There will be some breaking news coming out of Madison County here soon, apparently. So,
do we know when?
She just said soon. So with Catherine, that's a relative term.
Yeah, right.
We'll find out.
Well, let us know when, Catherine. Let us know like when you're talking.
Yeah. And then she has a little video you can play at the end of the show if you want. Now, I don't know, though. You'll have to I'll send it to you. You need to look at it. I don't know if we'd get pinged for copyright because the song.
If there's any music, we will definitely get pinged. That's right. 100%. And I will tell you the other thing right now, we are totally screwed up with all of what's going on there. So I got to find out. But yeah, shoot it to me and I'll see what goes on.
Okay.
Okay, I will go to your link and make sure I get my email sent tomorrow. I was good hearing you guys. All right. Thank you, Alicia. Have a good one. Okay, so yeah, Road Warrior, that does not surprise me one bit. As far as it's saying notes and vote only, that's not surprising. Okay, so really quickly here, let me see whatever else we've got going on. Bree asks something about can I do one of these for House Bill 1445? I don't know what that is. What do you mean, can I do one of these? Those emails work for any... I mean, those emails are the emails for... And I still need to call you. I still want to hear what you got to say. what I need. I've been swamped, but I need to get a hold of you. House Bill, what is it you're asking about? 1455. Bill. Chemical castration for certain sex offenders. Why certain? Allows a court to order that sex offender whose victim was under 14 years of age may only be eligible for parole, probation, or community corrections if the sex offender consents to chemical castration treatment. Makes a level 4 felony if a person who consents to chemical castration treatment knowingly or intentionally stops receiving the chemical castration treatment, requires the Department of Corrections to administer or contract we can put something together for that. And then GW wants to know about $16.28. Property development matters.
It's in the Delaware Solar Crisis in Madison County. It has it posted on their Facebook. Solar Crisis in Madison County.
Okay.
Indiana House Bill 1628 could fast-track solar and wind projects by removing local control over large-scale energy developments. It allows the state to override local zoning laws, making it easier for renewable energy projects to move forward, whether communities want them or not.
Yeah, they tried doing something like this, maybe not last year, but the year before. And Henry County officials were really big on trying to push it off, trying to fight it off. So, yeah, we'll have to look at this. This is crazy. Of course, that will be a topic of the Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow. Delaware County Commissioners will meet at the Delaware County Courthouse, the old courthouse, at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Whoops. Here. So, Delaware County Commissioners meeting, 9 a.m. Monday, February 3rd, 2025. I will be there. I have a bone to pick with Shannon Henry. I wanted to be there this evening and just do the thing overnight and be there in the morning. I'll just have to try to get there early in the morning and walk in with him. But remember, he in my opinion, he set a precedent. So he told me that in order to speak, you have to sign up before the meeting starts. So, that is absolutely nonsensical that he would, remotely say something like that. And, Shannon is a prick. He needs to go. He does not care about serving the public, and it's very, very apparent. So, as we heard here on the program, right at the beginning, I don't know who was all here, if everybody was here or not, but Tim Nickum did state that Stephen Brand will be putting forward a motion to extend the moratorium. And that's going to be kind of controversial for the people who have been showing up to kind of lash out in support of this. I would say they're going to be rather testy if that in fact happens. So that will be interesting. I am happy to report that for the first time in a long time, I do believe we're going to start seeing the agenda on before the meetings, and that is a good thing. I'm telling you, Stephen is really moving and shaking, both in front of the scenes, out in the open, and behind the scenes. He's really making a lot of good changes and doing a lot of great work for the betterment of the community. One of them being the communication and getting things online, like the claims and the agendas and so on and so forth. So here is the agenda for tomorrow morning. The agenda is let's see. Oh, I know. I was like, why can't I get that to go up? Ha! I was off the screen. Call to order, pledge to the flag, roll call, announcement, employee of the month. Yay. Appointments. Okay, and I want to make sure, did we talk about this? Did we talk about this? Remember when Audie was named to the board, the BZA board? He had to then be unnamed to the BZA board just about 12 hours later because he was, they named him, the commissioners named him, but he lived in the city. And although the city of Muncie falls within Delaware County, the commissioners have to name somebody from the unincorporated areas of the county. So unfortunately, Audie was not named to that board. It is what it is. And they will be naming someone tomorrow. They will also be naming people to the Yorktown Public Library Board, the ECIRPD Board, and the Metropolitan Plan Commission. Tabled business, handbook revisions, Pam McCammon. I'll be interested to see if they do anything with that. Solar ordinance, an ordinance approving amendment to the county personnel. Wait a minute. Ordinance. Sorry, I was reading too many things. Ordinance number 2024-33, an ordinance approving amendment to the county personnel handbook. All right, so that's there. And then also solar moratorium, Stephen Brand. All right, there's that. Then we go into approval of the minutes. Commissioner meeting January 21st, 2025. Executive session minutes January 31st, 2025. Presentations, Purdue Extension, Justin Curley. Versity Blood Drive, Human Resources. Contractors. Okay. Contractors or agreements for approval. Bid opening, John Brook. 2025 generator contract, Steve Foster. New norm agreement, Jamie Bain. Consent for assignment, Angie Moyer. Local roads and bridges matching grant agreement, Angie Moyer. BR Bridge number 12, RW acquisition, Angie Moyer. Audio quotes, Mark Slusher. Nahart Company Services Agreement, Ed Carroll. Ordinances for first reading, creating a new fund for grant-funded Delaware County Adult Drug Court. Ordinance 2025-24, creating a new fund for grant-funded Delaware County Veterans Treatment Court. Ordinance 25-24. Well, that can't be. Those can't both be. One that has to be 25-05. Imposing a moratorium on filling and accepting any new applications for solar energy installations. Now that is big. That's interesting. And I just have to assume that number is 2025-05. Ordinances for second reading, resolutions for approval, old business, department heads and elected officials, Oakville Road Project, Tommy Humbert. Okay. Weekly, monthly, and quarterly reports, payment of claims, payment of ARP claims, payment of payroll for 1/29/25. Public comments and questions, other business discussion. All public comments are limited to 3 minutes, and speaker must sign in before 9 a.m., providing name and address. That's one thing I will not do. I will not provide name. I mean, I'll provide my name, but they can address themselves right up their ass. Comments may be made to the commissioners via their email at commissioners@co.delaware.in.us. Commissioners' comments, 32.5-hour work week, Stephen Brand. County take-home vehicles, Stephen Brand. And a recess. So there's that. This before 9 a.m. thing is literally insane. And I truly, truly, truly hope that, I don't even want to say it. To hell with them, man. I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous. We must do everything that we can do to drive Shannon Henry out of his gourd, make him insane, make him resign. He is a horrible human being. He is a horrible representative. He is a horrible elected figure, elected official. He is just, and you know what? Sherry is right there with him. It's just absolutely nuts that they are that petty and that unaware of what it means to be a public servant. So I'll have some words for them if I'm there to sign up. Hey, if I'm not there to sign up, you should be able to yield your time. You should be able to yield your time to others. Absolutely. They've always done that in the past, so I don't know why they wouldn't. And if somebody is there, if someone's at that meeting tomorrow, and I am not there before 9 o'clock, look on that sheet and sign me up. Bilbrey. Just write Bilbrey. Put it on there. Just Bilbrey. Bilbrey. You don't have to put anything more. You don't have to put anything less. And I can battle it with them, but I will do everything I can to try to be there before 9. But if I'm not there, you know what to do. You don't even got to tell anybody. You don't even got to tell me. Just put it on there. No one will know the difference. Take that. All right. Before we roll out of here, let's talk about the Muncie City Council meeting and talk about what's happening there. Give me a second. We'll do the quick adjustment for the screens. Oh, man. Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow It's just a regular meeting, so there is no there are no public hearings or anything like that. It will just be their standard meeting. And let me see. Not good. Okay, so man, I cannot wait to get out of this wintertime and having this forever sore throat and nasal nonsense. This has been probably one of the worst winters that I've had in a while. I've been born with sinus issues. It's just something I've had sinus issues my whole life. It's been a major issue, but it comes and goes. And this year's been one of the worst. It's not been really bad, but I've had this just low hanging blah right here in my chest all freaking winter. Okay, 2/3/25, the Muncie City Council meeting agenda. I gotta say, well, we'll go through this agenda and then remind me what I gotta say. Remind me there's something I gotta say at the end of this agenda here. So, okay, let's looky here. Looky here. All right. February 3rd, 2025, standard meeting, 7 p.m., City Hall. They'll go through the invocation, citizen recognition, roll call, approval of minutes, appointments to boards and commissions, committee reports, ordinances previously introduced. Now, look, we immediately go into the annexations. Now, there have been a lot of people pushing back about these annexations over the last couple of months. But before everybody gets like twisted sideways on this, the annexations tomorrow are the voluntary annexations. These are the ones that, I guess, like, for example, the city-owned parcel near Farmington neighborhood. Okay, I'll show you. I'll give you a little bit of an understanding of what this is. This is apparently a piece of land that has no housing on it whatsoever. And apparently the city of Muncie already owns it, but it's in the county. I don't really understand what's going on with that, but that is apparently what's happening. So there's nobody that's fighting this one. However, the rumor going around is the council is going to vote no on this. The council is going to vote no on these voluntary amendments. So when it comes around for the other ones that people are all up in arms about next month, because those will come around next month. So the voluntary annexations are this month, and the other ones are next month. And the rumor is that they are going to go ahead and apparently vote no, or at least a large percentage of them are going to vote no, so that it will be easier for them to vote no next month. Now, that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. I'm not putting that out there the same as I did like with the deal on, knowing the stuff about the bot, about the fire department. I'm not putting that out there the same as any of the stuff I've said about the crisis center or about like the president and vice president of the council. I'm not getting this from a source that's like 100% locked down. I'm just hearing this as a rumor being spread by a couple different people. And that is that the council is toying with the idea of voting no on these two annexations that nobody truly cares about. Also, it'll be easier next month rather. And if that's the case, I think that's pretty petty. I mean, if that's what, it's got to be Nora and the Democrats, because the Republicans wouldn't be doing it. The Republicans wouldn't be standing with Dan. So if that's what's happening, if that happens, that'll be crazy. Now, I don't know where I stand on the deal next month. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So, number one, first out of the gate, Ordinance 3124, an ordinance of the city of Muncie, Indiana, annexing certain territory, city of Muncie, annexation number 3, city-owned parcel near Farmington neighborhood. Now, that's what I was waiting on. I wanted to show you what it is that is. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I believe it's right here. So it's like this. I don't know that I'm necessarily in the exact right area, but I'm like close, and it's the same idea. Let me see if I can find it actually on Beacon. It's like this. It's like the city's going to annex this area. Like it's an empty area that is, there's no houses on. But I'm trying to think, because here's Farmington. So I don't know if it's like over in here or over in here. What is this? This is, let me see if I can find actually the actual area. Okay. No, not that. Okay, let's see what this is. Here we go. Kate, if we have a parcel ID number, are we able to can that go into Beacon?
I think so. I do believe you can search for parcel numbers. Parcel ID search. Yes. Do you have it?
Yeah, it is.
I've got it.
Can I just tell you the number?
Yeah, go for it.
0731
That's it?
2,000.
Is there a hyphen or no?
Okay, you got 2,000. No hyphen. Okay, you got 2,000.
Yeah.
All right, then another 0.
Mm-hmm.
Then 3,000.
Got it. Search. As soon as you get so far, it starts to give you options for auto completing it. I'm sorry, the internet here is running slow.
No, you're fine.
It is Riggin Road. No street address, no property address, but it's Riggin Road. Let's see if it will show me.
Where do you sit? Where do you search the just in the search bar on Beacon?
So when Beacon first opens up, you've got property address, property owner, property ID number is the next one. Parcel ID number
when
next
it first opens up, this is the first thing I get when it opens up.
What?
When I type in Beacon, this is what I get.
Oh. Yeah, I would type in up in the search bar. Just type it in.
731 20123. Okay, let's see what this is. Let's see if this is it. Yeah. It's those areas exactly.
Okay.
Damn, I was really good. I was like, I think I just told people some wrong information. But that was what it was. So going back here to my map to show you, it's these pieces of land here that right now they're trying to annex tomorrow. Nobody cares about that. That's got nothing to do with anything. You see what they're going to do with it? Look what's going on right here. Look what's going on right here. Look what's going on right here. You know what they're going to do with these little pieces of land? They're going to make these no longer farmable, and they're going to make some houses here. All right, whatever. However, they're going to, I think that there's a good possibility that they could say no to this just to make it easier for them to say no next week. Next month. I keep saying that. Next month. So we'll have to see. All right. Moving on. Ordinance 3224, an ordinance of the city of Muncie, Indiana, annexing certain territory to the city of Muncie, Indiana, placing the same within the corporate boundaries. That's the same thing. Okay, that's Westminster Village. And nobody's throwing a fit about that either. That's the old folks home, the rehabilitation facility, nursing home, whatever you want to call it. And that's so they can have fire and EMS protection, police protection, everything like that. No one's saying anything about that, but we'll see what they do. Moving on, Ordinance 1-25. Wow, first ordinance of the new year. Ordinance amending Chapter 159, the floodplain management of the Muncie Code of Ordinances. Ordinance 2-25, an ordinance to vacate certain public alley in the John J. Perkins addition to the city of Muncie, Delaware County, Indiana. And then then we go into new ordinances. Those were ordinances that had already been previously introduced. Here are the new ordinances. An ordinance to amend the city of Muncie comprehensive zoning ordinance from the R4 residential zone to the BC Community Business Zone on the premises located at the northwest corner of the intersection of Memorial and Sampson Avenue, Muncie, Indiana. Okay. An ordinance to amend the City of Muncie's comprehensive zoning ordinance from the R4 residential zone to the BV variety business zone on premises located at the south side of West Williamsburg Boulevard, 385 east of North Morrison Road, Muncie, Indiana. Ordinance 5-25, an ordinance amending Chapter 77 parking regulations of the City of Muncie Code of Ordinances, payment, location, and distribution. That's what that is. And then tabled business. And you notice we dropped a bunch of tabled business off. They didn't get talked about. They never got picked back up, so they just dropped off. Well, here's the only one that's still there. An ordinance to amend the City of Muncie comprehensive zoning ordinance from R3 residential zone to the BV variety zoning business zone for parcel 1101-379-007-000 and parcel blah, blah, blah within the 3700 block of East Centennial Avenue, Muncie, Indiana. It was introduced on November 4th, 2024. It was tabled the same meeting for more discussion on opposition. Oh, this is where they kept talking about the guy. They didn't want the guy coming in and building something. And they're like, well, we're not going to. He's not going to. The guy that's going to be there is not going to do it. And Jerry kept saying, well, what happens if they do it, though? So it'll be interesting to see what, if anything, comes from this. They will then go from there, go into other business and adjournment. All right. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, GW. What I want to say about the City of Muncie, and this is what I was going to say, I wanted to tell you. There's a fight brewing, and the fight's getting ready to kick up for this annexation. And we might get a little preview of that tomorrow, just depends. But the majority of that will be in March. But besides that, man, the City of Muncie has been so freaking stagnant for like the last, it's like 6 months. It just, nothing really is going on. You know, Dan is who he is. He doesn't like to talk or give any information. And he goes to the meetings and he sits there or he doesn't. And people from his administration comment in the comments. Sometimes they fight with people. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the council knows what's going on. Sometimes it doesn't. It's just so blah. There's just, and it's not like, boy, a lot of good things are going on. They've really got, they don't. It's kind of bad. Like in one half, you've got counselors that are trying to hurry up these committee meetings they have for God knows what. It's like the point of having these meetings is to be there and to get the information, be there as long as it takes. But no, they're in a hurry for whatever reason. But just nothing is happening. I just feel like it's grinding to a stop. Like, I just feel like I could wake up any day and City of Muncie government would just cease to exist. And it just seems so weird. I don't know. It's really strange. Everybody seems so ineffective at their job. Nobody seems to be doing good work. They might be working, they might be doing something, but it just doesn't seem like they're giving it their best. Then listen to this nonsense of all nonsense. Last Thursday it was, the newly named, newly appointed, newly commissioned and put together ethics committee, the city of Muncie, they were going to have a meeting. Now, I don't know who called the meeting. I don't know what the point of the meeting was. I thought that this board only got called if there was an ethics problem. So I don't know if there's some kind of a problem. I don't know what's happening. But the ethics committee was apparently got to call into action, and they were going to have a meeting on Thursday. And it's like, okay, that sounds interesting. I would probably go to that. Well, they're doing their thing, and I guess preparing themselves mentally. I guess it was going to be live streamed. Someone talked about it being live streamed. Then they talked about it not being live. I don't know what the deal is with that. But just hours before, just really strange, hours before they were going to meet on Thursday, their meeting got poo-pooed. And the reason that it was poo-pooed, the reason the meeting was called off, was because nobody had thought to give the proper 48-hour notice that they legally have to give. They were just going to have the meeting. You know, I don't know anything about it. I don't know what they were going to do. I don't know what the point of the meeting was. I would like to know, did they have someone there to take minutes? Did they have someone from legal there? I don't know. And I'd like to know who called them off, who finally said, hey, no, we didn't. I don't know. We didn't notice this properly. You figured that the ethics committee would get that shit right. And then let me tell you the other strange thing with this. So the board is supposed to be a balanced board, right? There's 5 members on the board. This has never really made sense to me. If you have a 5-person board, you're going to have one party that's got more. If it's a 5-person board, 3 is a passing quorum. One party is going to have 3 members. So I've never understood the whole point of the. I guess that don't make sense. The reason I bring this up. So the people that have been named for the board, are, let me pull this up and I'll tell you who's who. The mayor named Susan Dillon, and James Lowe. Susan Dillon's a Republican. James Lowe is a Democrat. So the mayor named one Republican and one Democrat. The council named Sandra Whitaker, or was going to name Sandra Whitaker, but didn't. They ended up naming W.C. Edwards, who I believe is a Democrat, and Charles Chip Taylor. Now, what's weird about this is the way that they look at these boards, if they're weighted, if they're Republican or Democrat, is by what the person votes in the primaries. Well, Chip Taylor has never, at least not in the last 20 years, has not polled a primary ballot. He does not vote in the primary. He votes in the general, and he's polled a school board ballot one time, but he normally just doesn't vote in the primary. My question is, what does that make him? It's very interesting. I almost feel like, I don't know if he's obviously qualified because of what he's done and who he is, but I've heard that people have been asking him about what he's on the board as, like what he's voted. And instead of just telling people, he's been really like cryptic about it. So that makes me wonder kind of like what the hell's going on here. So I'm looking into this. We'll be finding out more. The ethics board seems like it's having some issues, and I don't know. I've talked to Susan Dillon, and Susan was excited about having the meeting, but then it got called off because they hadn't given proper notice. All governmental meeting like that have to have 48 hours notice, man. And the thing is, what called it off, what called this to their attention was something really, minute. Like it was something that like almost wouldn't have been a thing. And if a couple of other things had been in place, they wouldn't have known that, and they would have went ahead and just had the meeting. And that's what's really crazy. Yeah, Stumblefoot, that's really good. Seems to me to be a move to undermine the committee straight out of the gate. I'd hate to think it was incompetence. That's an interesting way to look at it. Interesting. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the fight obviously continues. As you see here, we've got a lot of it to go. I have to make the links for tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening, and then tomorrow's show, Wednesday. So I've got a lot of work to do. We're going to roll. We'll be back here tomorrow, obviously in the morning for the commissioners meeting. We'll be here at 7 p.m. for the council meeting, and then after for the live show, episode 383. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend as it gets ready to wind down. Have a wonderful start back to the work week. Take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 9. Please like the show on your way out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.